What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. Today I'm here with Max Gmoser, a guy who's been killing it in sales, a guy that I now call a very, very good friend. And it's great to have you here on the podcast, Max.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. We've got a bunch of topics lined up that I want to talk about with you, some being just overall your journey. For people who don't know you, right, we've met on both of our journeys in high-ticket sales, closing deals online, and you're killing it, right? You have been for quite some time. We just discussed off camera, you've been in the industry now for 1.5 years. And the reason why I really wanted to have you on the podcast is because your journey is what many would say just the absolute dream outcome of getting into the industry and doing what we do, which is closing deals online, right, for businesses. You've become very successful very quickly. And I just wanted to ask you, overall, looking back on your journey, what do you think was the reason for you not just, hitting 5K per month, 10K per month, but like hitting the goals that you're hitting now, 30K per month consistently, just doing very well in what you're doing?
Yeah. So first of all, I think it wasn't too quickly because, when people see my numbers nowadays, it seems like quickly. But you have to understand, I try things out online since like 6-7 years already, right? And I almost failed with everything, honestly speaking. I tried a lot of things out, probably almost anything that is out there. But sales and especially high ticket closing, really changed my life, right? And I think the reason why I became so successful with it is because it's a combination of mindset and skills, right? I think I have the right attitude. I think I show up every single day since a long time already, no weekends off. And I also became good in sales itself, right? I just learned the skills of sales, and I think if the combination of mindset and skills is unbeatable, more or less.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. And you, like you just said, you have the right mindset when it comes to really pushing. And that's why I say you're really the dream sales rep for a company just because of your commitment. I've told this to many young upcoming sales reps many times. It's not about your track record, who you've worked with, what you've done numbers wise. Sure, to some extent, but mainly the most important thing when it comes to landing deals, working with the right companies, right, getting into the right opportunities, it's just the energy that you show up with, the conviction that you have in making it work. Right? Yeah. If you show up and you tell a company what your motivation is, why you're the right sales rep, and that no matter what happens, you're going to kill it, you're going to get good enough on the team to just crush it, they will give you a shot. I often tell my students inside the program what I told the business owner that I started closing for, 2 years ago, right? I told him, dude, just give me some leads and you'll see what's going to happen. I had total confidence that I'm going to kill it. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't close the first 3 deals, right? I failed all of them. But then I got a hang of it, closed 12 in a row and kind of did my thing, right? But it's just about getting the opportunity in the first place. You have to believe in yourself. Self-talk is everything. And when you show up with the right energy that you will succeed, you'll get the opportunity in the first place, right?
100%. Yeah, I think there's nothing really to add, right? I think everything starts and falls with the right mindset, so to say. And if you just show up, if you're just a positive person overall, this is what I like on you, by the way. I mean, you stand up, you're in a good mood. You go to sleep, you're in a good mood. During the day, you're in a good mood. You don't close the deal, you're in a good mood. Like you're every time you're in a good mood, right? And I think this is a life attitude overall, which is not only in sales or in business. I think in life, it's something so beneficial if you are just a positive person overall.
Yeah, and to me this is also a big part of sales, right? Sure, you can't be happy all the time, but being happy is a choice most of the time. Just having a positive attitude. Like if you really believe everything happens for you and you can't fail no matter what, you feel relentless, undeniable, like nothing is going to stop you. Sure, I'm going to fail 100 times, let's say 200 times, I don't care. If I know I have to fail a few hundred times to then make it, better start failing, right? And I'll do that with a smile on my face every day. Like something that many people in sales don't talk about is the map of consciousness, like the energy that you have, the frequency that you're in when communicating with people. And if you're hopeless, unmotivated, and just stuck somewhere, you can't close deals. right? If you're closing a deal, somebody is in a position where they need help. They need a solution. You present that solution, but you have to be in a state and a frequency where they aspire to be like that, to think like that, to look up to you, to see you as an authority figure that can help them get from point A to point B. And then just being extremely thankful for everything that I have in my life every day.
Yeah.
And literally saying everything happens for me, I can only win.
Yeah.
I have a positive attitude and a very good frequency in every conversation I go into. And I think that's really what makes me unique in sales.
100%. And this is what also makes you so successful with the thing you do, right?
Yeah. I think when it comes to coaching people, when they say, yeah, I just feel down and I don't know where to go from here. I mean, sure, I've been in places where I wasn't as motivated. I wasn't hitting my goals that I wanted to hit. But with anything that I've done, I've always said, I'm just going to get started and I won't stop. And sure, some people have the approach of, you have to hit your goals as soon as possible and you have to be there in a certain amount of time. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure is great. And I like creating pressure for myself with certain things of setting expectations. But still, my dad always used to say, it doesn't matter when you hit your goals, it matters that you hit them.
Yeah.
And as long as I know I will hit them, I'm going to enjoy the journey. I'm going to enjoy the process of getting there. That's something I tell every sales rep, right? People who are, let's say in the beginning, in the first few months, hitting 5K per month in commission. Of course, they want to hit their first 10K month, right? But yet I'm telling them, hey, be happy, man. That's amazing. Just keep doing what you do. Keep the hunger that you have to improve and you will hit that 10K month. And they tell me, yeah, Nick, I know 100% I'll hit that month. I'm like, okay, good. Be in a positive frequency, in a positive mood then. You're going to hit these goals. And just like you've said about your own journey, you've gone there fairly quick. Like your first 3 months in high ticket sale already took you to 10K per month, right?
Yes.
But yet even if somebody takes 12 months, I've had a new student on the live call yesterday who he's been in sales since January, right? It's now December of 2024. We started working together 1 month and all of the year, his biggest month was 4.5K. First month with me, 5 figures, just through getting into the right opportunities, tweaking a few things, right? And he's also said, yeah, it's just all working out for me.
Yeah.
It's a long game. That's the game you want to play.
Yeah, 100%. But would you say overall, is it just about the attitude itself? Like, and would you say anyone can become successful in sales or with whatever they want to do? Mm-hmm. Or is also luck involved or yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
We've discussed this many times off camera. Like, theoretically, yes, everybody can become successful and hit their goals. In practice, not everybody has what it takes. And that's not like IQ or whatever. So many people disqualify themselves based on where they're from, the language they speak and stuff like that. It's your work ethic. What are you willing to do? If you're not putting in the work to take you where you want to be, it's not important enough to you, right? It's like people that want to lose weight but never do. It just doesn't suck enough in your current situation for you to change something, right? As a sales rep, what you do on a call is bring people into pain, help them feel the pain of their current situation. And somebody who's not in sales might think, oh, that's cruel. No, you're actually helping the person because so many people don't see their actual problem. You have to help them see and realize what's going on because only with that pain, they're going to be able to take action. Pain is something beautiful. It's the only driving factor that actually makes you change something about where you are and where you're going in life, right?
I agree, because if it doesn't hurt you, probably there's no reason to change anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think, sometimes it's difficult to explain, right? But some people just have it and others just don't have it, right? And I don't mean with like people who don't have it that they cannot develop or learn certain skills. Like theoretically, everyone can do it 100%. But with some people, it's just difficult, right? They have just such a, I would say wrong belief system and such wrong thoughts towards becoming successful. But if there's still the right mindset here and the willingness to learn and to develop more or less, then 100% I also think everyone can achieve his or her goals, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, something to mention maybe is, and I've said this many times, the 2 most common factors of why people don't become successful is one, like I said, they disqualify themselves for whatever reason, thinking, success or hitting this certain goal is meant for special people, right? I can't achieve that. millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, that they're the same people like you and I and everyone else. They just started and they didn't stop until they achieved their goals, right? They just had the determination to start and not stop. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So if you look at 100 opportunities, but you never go for it, you're not going to make it. It's that simple.
100%.
Right? So it's, like I said, number one, people who just, they don't even try. They're like, oh, I can't do it for whatever reason. If you don't try, you won't make it, right? So just start. And then secondly, tell yourself, I'm going to push through this for like an extended amount of time. With the business that I've started, I said, I'll go at this for at least 3 years. And I know I'll figure it out in the process, right? If you really go for something for a few years, you'll make it. It's that simple, right? And most people give it, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a few months. And they're like, oh, it got difficult. I stopped. You have to realize as a sales rep, or generally in life, when you want to make money, problems are amazing. Because behind every problem, behind solving every problem, there's more money. Whenever there's a problem, people stop. If you're the one person that doesn't stop, you're going to make all the money and reap the rewards on the other side, right? So
Yes.
you got to see problems as opportunities and just keep going.
Yes, 100%. I think also it doesn't even need to take a couple of years or whatever. I think most of the times, if you really stick to something and you become good at something, you can see the first results in like 2, 3, 4, 5 months already.
Yeah.
And I think if you really put your head down and like just focus on one specific thing to become good at one specific thing, in like half a year from now, literally anyone can live a complete different life than at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, when you take sales specifically, it's something that you can get very quick results in. Sure, you have to learn the skill set, and not everybody's starting on the same level, right? Some people start making money in a week. Some people need 3 months of training before they get on the first opportunity closing deals, right? But generally speaking, the amazing thing about being independent, working for yourself, being a remote sales rep, right, is the feedback loop. You don't show up to the call correctly, you don't make money. You make certain mistakes, you don't make money. You have to fix that immediately, right? If you're stuck in a 9 to 5, right, you could do whatever and you're still going to get your salary. You don't have that feedback loop. And that's why it's a catalyst to really improve yourself massively and develop your personality, because of that feedback loop that you just have to grow and improve so quick.
Yeah, but for that you need a mentor, right? Because you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know the mistakes that you make, because if you would know, you wouldn't make the mistakes, right? So it's always important to have someone basically who is not too emotionally attached to you, who can give you like an expert feedback on something, right? And it doesn't matter which business you build up, but especially in sales, you need to have someone who is telling you you did this good, but this you didn't do good. You could do this, and this instead, right? And it's always a circle of putting the work in, right skill set, like improvement every single time, and then the sky's the limit, as you say, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen it with so many people that we look up to, that we have in our network, right? That just keep looking for better people to learn from, right? It's really from combat sports, which is one of my passions, as you know, right? I've started kickboxing when I was 15. The white belt mentality of no matter where you're at and how good you're at something, always come into every room as a complete beginner willing to learn, right? See, what can I learn from this person? And just keep looking for better people and learn from them, right? That's what's going to take you to the next level again and again and again, right? I remember my first ever investment into myself was 3K at the time, right? At the time, I was like, whoa, that's
was
huge.
Was closer coaching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was like a huge investment at the time.
Yeah.
Now, this year alone, I'm ending up investing 86K into mentors and masterminds,
Yes.
right?
Now there's another 36K coming soon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know exactly what that investment is. And yeah.
Yes.
Good stuff coming together.
I'm closing him on a 36K deal at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
I always said good closers are able to get closed, right?
100%. Yeah.
Maybe just to rewind what you asked me a moment ago, you said, do you think there's luck involved to really be successful? I think to an extent. I think I actually got really lucky. I met a guy at a bar back in Düsseldorf who told me about this thing that he was doing, talking to people online. And I was curious because at the time I was a broke personal trainer making 500 euros a month.
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
I made 500 euros a month for 3 years straight. So I gathered a lot of pain, which was great because I wanted to get out of that situation so bad, right? I met this guy, I had no clue what he was doing, running an agency or something. I couldn't even spell that at that time, right? And I was like, dude, whatever you're doing, I want to get involved. Like, what are you looking for in people to work together? And yeah, he basically just said, join me at this event, you'll meet a few cool people. And I'm like, okay, sure. I went there and I met people doing exactly what we do now, right? People who are closing deals remotely online for businesses. And I was like, I can do this. When do I start? I was just convinced this is my way right at the start. And I remember 2 months, maybe 2-3 months after that event, I'd already gotten into the industry, already closed my first deal, so it went pretty quickly. And I remember driving to work in my old broken down car, just crying tears of joy because I knew I found my path in life and just pursuing this one thing. Because I always wanted to be successful. I always knew I'd figure something out, but I used to be one of these people who back then used to think, yeah, you have to invent something or have a big idea to make money. Obviously, that couldn't be further from the truth. But I never knew which path I wanted to go down in life. And when I found sales, I was like, this is it. This is just where I can apply myself, learn one skill, execute it to the fullest, make money, build a network, right? And build the life that I now live and that I'm still working towards. And sales has just changed my life completely. Yeah. Same goes for you.
I think it's a super, especially when you start out, right? It's probably, in my opinion, the best industry you can go in because there's, first of all, zero risk involvement. Like you don't put whatever cash up front on the table for a certain business or whatever. And like you get paid out of commission, right? And obviously, depending on the offer you are, you and on the skills you have and the work ethic you have, you can decide yourself how much you want to earn. But remember, we had this lunch a couple of days ago with our business partner, and he said to us, like, back in the days he recommended to anyone to start a business, right? But nowadays he wouldn't do, because to run a business, it's like most people don't even think about things that are involved or what it means running a business, right? Remember, he told us sometimes he cannot even sleep, right? He's asking his best friend for real advice to actually help him in life, in business, right? Like, I don't have the troubles, like I don't run an own business. I just close deals for other businesses. I get commission for it. The better I am and the more I do of it, the more money I make. And also in our profession, it's possible to, I mean, I myself, I make more than 30K a month, but it's also possible to make more than 40, 50, 60, probably even 70K a month. I know people who make more than 100K a month consistently with sales, right? They don't run an own business. They have no risk involved or whatever, right? Yeah. It has like so much advantages. And I'm just like, because sometimes I get asked, from people like, do I regret anything and the only thing I regret is that I didn't get to know high ticket closing years ago already. Like that's the only thing I regret, because it just changed my life so quickly, right?
I mean, you'll be turning 28 later this month.
Yes.
And one of the students inside the coaching program, he's 19 years old. Yes. I told him about him, that he's hitting 5 figures per month for the first time this month. And you're like, man, that's crazy. At 19 years old, I wish I found out about this, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to what you've just said, I think there's two sides to that, right? Of course, I've got slightly a different take on it, being the guy out of us who started a business, right? So I started in sales, but then went on to grow a business myself. You can really make out of this sales opportunity, closing deals online, whatever you want. If you want to make 5K per month and live in Thailand and just chill, you can do that. If you want to make 30K plus per month and you really want to go all out and push it like you can do that, right? And either you can be a sales rep and just live a really risk-free life in the sense, right? Yeah. Because other people do all the work up front and investing into marketing, building a brand, getting the lead flow, qualifying the leads, building the company, the system, fulfilling a service to the client. As a sales rep, you do none of that, right? You get good at one skill, which is communicating with people, and you execute that skill.
Yes.
right? You find out what their problem is, you help them overcome it, you get your commission. It's that simple, right? But also, if you do want to build a business down the line, I think still sales is the best way to go by far. One, because sales is a fundamental skill that you will need whatever business you're ever running. If that's selling investors on the idea of investing in your business, or if that's just selling people to work for you, right? If that's just selling yourself on the idea that you have, right?
No, it's with everything you do in life. You know, I learned that from Grant Cardone in one of his books. He said, like, the moment you stand up, the moment you stand up, you go out of bed in the morning, you sell. Like, whatever you do, if you shake someone's hands, you sell yourself. If you greet someone, you sell yourself. Like, you always sell yourself in the first place, right?
Yeah.
How you dress, like how you talk, like everything you do subconsciously is selling more or less, right? It's with you can I mean, it's related to obviously closing deals in dating, in relationships, right? Like, you always sell yourself, and if you become good in selling, like, life becomes easy, right? Because you know how to talk to people, you know how to also influence people to a certain extent. It has so much advantages.
Yeah. Like I said, it's also just the personal development that you go through. It's crazy. The way that you communicate with people is everything. Because in life, you're always being judged, right? The way that you appear, you look, right? You can't deny that we are superficial as humans, right? We judge people when we see them. The second thing, after we see them, is that we judge them on the way they communicate, right? When you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. Let that sink for a minute. When you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. So how you communicate is showing the world who you are again.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so essential that you know how to communicate, present yourself, and sell other people on you as a person. If that's anything, just having a conversation with you, networking, connecting with people. Like you've mentioned, dating is so similar to sales, right? All these things. So again, this is one of the reasons why I recommend sales for people who want to start their own business. It's having the ability, having the self-belief and the confidence that you just get in sales, building huge resilience, right? Because you get rejected many times. You're like, hey, amazing, keep them coming. Keep giving me objections.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun, right? You just push through them and you know you'll succeed in the end. But also, sales in a remote way, like we're doing it online for businesses, is by far the easiest way to get in touch with highly successful, high net worth people who've been there, done that, built the business, right? Have been through trial and error of figuring out how to do this, right? So if you want to build a great network, be in touch with successful people and just grow as an entrepreneur and as a person in the long run, sales is the best way to go by far, because you have direct access to these people for free. I mean, just this year alone, I've gotten access to courses and masterminds that I didn't pay for, over 100K for free, just because I got into the right opportunities in sales, networking with the right people.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, right?
Yeah. I mean, for you again, what do you think was the reason why you were looking to do something online in the first place, instead of just getting a job? I mean, you've been to university, studied. What was your reason to go outside of the system? Because I knew that you were pretty conservative in the beginning of thinking, hey, I'm just going to get a good job and that's going to be life.
Yeah. You know, it's just the way how I grew up, I would say, right? Like and I was not the person who had too much of his own opinions, right? I was someone who just did what everyone was doing, something that was accepted in society, something my parents want me to do. But at a certain time, I questioned myself and asked, like, do they live my life or do I live my life, right? And I think Albert Einstein said once already, right? It's like something like stupidity. People do over and over the same things, but they expect different results, right? And I always wanted to live a crazy life, right? And have a good lifestyle, wanted to afford cool things, wanted to be free, right? For real freedom, you need to have money, time, and location freedom. If one of that is missing, you can never, ever be free. And for me, it was just always important to be free. But then I figured out with a normal, like, 9-to-5 job, it's impossible to become free, right? No money freedom, no location freedom, no time freedom. So I need to change the way how I make money. And I tried a lot of things out. I told you already, right? And everything failed. Like I remember when I was like 18, 19 years old, I had a good amount of cash in my on my bank, but I lost everything, right? Like literally everything. I remember when I was like, I think I was like 19, 20 years old or something. I slept in the car even once because I was traveling to a business conference with a car from my mother, and I had like 170 euros on my bank account left, but it was just like the middle of the month, right? And I couldn't afford a hotel because I knew that I need the money for food basically, right? And I didn't want to, my parents, they could have helped me out, they would have helped me out, right? But I didn't want to show them like what a loser I am, So, like, how do you say it in English? Like pressure makes diamonds, or
yeah, exactly.
Or hard times shape
who you are,
shape strong men, right? And I just tried a lot of things out, right? And finally I found high ticket closing, and this was the only and the first thing that actually really worked out for me. And yeah, I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, now spending a week here together in Dubai, you and your brother came visiting me here. We had many moments sitting at dinner, just having a great view, great dinner, amazing location, and just thinking, wow, sure, we have much bigger goals and we've got a long way to go, but just appreciating how far you've come, and also, like, let's be honest, such a short time. If you look at so many people studying at university, just spending years of their life doing something, getting into sales, like, things went pretty quickly. Like I said, you got into sales as a beginner. You've never sold anything online and in the way that you do now, right? These high ticket offers. And 3 months after starting, you hit your first 10K month, right? And for me, I think I got into sales, and 2-3 months later, I quit my job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty quick journey if you think about it. And just rewinding that, it's cool to be where you are, being grateful for what you have, but of course we thrive for much more.
Yeah.
And being able to do that, set bigger goals, is just being in the right rooms with the right people that show you what's possible, right? People who are ahead of you. It makes you think, wow, I think I'm not at the end of them, right? That there's much more to do. You've mentioned this many, many times of coming here to Dubai. You've had conversations with people you could never have in your hometown, or where you live now in Vienna, right? Which is an amazing city. I'm a big fan, but the network of entrepreneurs and people who do big things, it's just different here in Dubai.
Yeah, 100%. It's, I mean, there's a reason why every young baller comes to Dubai, right?
Yeah, true.
It has a lot of advantages here. Also some disadvantages, but a lot of advantages.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me personally, there's a good reason why I'm here. I mean, the advantages far outweigh any disadvantages, right? But yeah, let's just rewind it for maybe people listening to what we're saying here, but they still don't have a clue of what you actually do. I mean, not maybe your parents. You've told me many times it's very difficult for them to understand what you're doing, right? But to people, how do you explain what it is that you're doing?
Yeah. So, I mean, high ticket closing is basically you are the man between the company and the client who is interested in a certain service, right? So there are endless online coaches out there, right? Could be health coach, could be dating coach, could be a real estate coach, could be a trading coach, could be whatever. And there are huge companies out there who have a lot of requests from people who are interested in their service, right? And we as closers are the people who close the deal, right? Who explain our service to the prospects, to the people who are interested in the service, and if they understand the value and how we as a company can help to solve a certain problem for them, people will buy directly, and as soon as the payment is coming in, usually it's always on the call directly, you get paid, right? You get your commission for it.
Yeah. That's a simple way to put it. I mean, something that I'd like to add, just because when getting inquiries from people who want to get mentored by me and my team, right? Many people ask, okay, but do I have to do like cold calling, reaching out to people, find the leads?
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
right? That's the amazing thing. 90% of the job is done for you by the business. They generate the leads. They invest into marketing. They pre-qualify the leads and seeing, hey, is this person serious? Do they have the money to invest? Can they get started right away? All these things so you can jump on a call, have a simple 40, 60-minute conversation and close the deal in the first conversation and collect your commission, right?
This is what is so crazy in high ticket sales, because like you almost get the leads on a golden tablet, more or less, right? It's people, if you close for a money making opportunity, you know their income, you know how much they're willing to invest, where they're from, what they want, what their goals are, like what's the actual point of view on the offer. Like it's I mean, I've never done anything easier, honestly speaking.
Yeah, I've said this on a podcast before. It's really, when it comes to sales, yes, you have to become a great sales rep and you can always improve, but sometimes you're good enough already to make way more money. You're just not in the right opportunity. Sometimes It's not how hard you row, it's the boat that you're in.
It's so important, there's a saying, the business you're in matters more than how much you work, right? And I couldn't agree more, because I also, again, I tried out so many things, nothing worked for me. Then I found this and it worked. It's really not too difficult. Of course, you need to become good in it, but it's not it's not doable for anyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's take your brother as an example, right? When I met your brother, he was selling lessons online to kind of help people with math and English and do that, right? He knew how to sell something, but he just wasn't in the right opportunity. And when I started working with him, put him in the right opportunity, he hit 10K plus per month in the first month.
Yeah, but before that, he was in real estate, actually. He was a real estate agent in Austria. He was making like 1.5K a month, right? He was like, it was part-time, like 20, 25 hours a week as a student. But I mean, I would say I really opened his eyes, right? And he was always saying, this is not working. It's not something legit. I want to work in real estate, blah, 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 right? But he couldn't, when I showed him my numbers, he just, he couldn't resist, right?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's just...
And now he makes, probably this month, he makes more than me, right?
Yeah, you've said it's the worst month that you've had in a long time, at around 20K per month, which sounds terrible, right?
Yeah, it's crazy if you think about it, yeah.
For you, I know you have high standards for yourself, but me telling this to like younger sales reps, now that you've also started coaching inside our program, people look up to you, right? You're the role model. You're the guy who went from zero to what many people have as their goals, right? The first 10K a month, 20, 30K per month, right? And you just being there, sharing your experience alongside myself and the other coaches in the program, it really helps people kind of see what's possible, right? To see, hey, this guy he's just a normal human being that just started and didn't stop, that has the right work ethic, that's able to share the mindset that you have and that took you to this point, right? And like I said, it's just being in the right opportunity. Sometimes you're good enough already, but you're just stuck in your own ways of thinking, oh, there's only one way to do it. Yeah. I mean, the people who end up successful are the people that open their eyes to what's possible in the first place. If you think you know everything and you're just, I'm not willing to change anything, without change.
And it's really about just trying things out, because when I look back, I remember I was always the guy when a business opportunity got presented to me or whatever, I was always the guy, he just wants to sell me something, right? I'm not interested in it, right? Which is such a scarcity mindset and such a loser mindset, I would say, right? Because you close the door directly, even though you don't have a clue about anything, right? Yeah. And I can really just advise to people to whatever gets presented to someone, doesn't need to be a sales or whatsoever. Just be open, listen to it, try it out. Sometimes you know if something is working or not only if you try it out, right? Not if you think about it or if you see other people doing it. What's the worst thing that can happen if you fail with something? Yeah, you're just not making money. That's it, right? So there's nothing to lose at the end of the day.
It's great that you bring this up. I actually had that exact conversation with someone yesterday. Scared money doesn't make money. Yeah. Brave money multiplies. Yeah. Right? And like I said, if you really want to make more money, but you're not willing to bet on yourself, are you really serious about it, right? One of the reasons why people get results in mentorships in the first place is because they invest money. That makes it more important to them. Like, oh, I dropped 5K. Now I got to make it worth 100%. My time, right? So it's really important that when you do take that chance, you bet on yourself, right?
I mean, look, if there are two kind of people, right? Both of them get the access to the same mentorship program. One person is getting it for free. The other person is paying 5K for it.
Yeah.
Who is getting better results?
Yeah.
The commitment level is different, right?
Exactly.
For the person who that invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Maybe another question, just when people maybe also inside our mentorship program ask you, hey Max, what advice do you have for me for beginners? What would you say? Like maybe top 3 points advice for beginners getting started when it comes to how do I get good? How do I train? How do I, get to where you're at?
I think first of all, it's important to put yourself mentally in a position where you can perform, right? And everyone performs under different circumstances, or everyone can motivate him or herself in a different way. But you need to be in a good mood, right? If you're not in a good mood, and if you're not in a confident mood, you cannot sell anything to people, right? And for me, I'm in a good mood. I like to go to the gym. I like to hang around with good people. I like to educate myself. I listen a lot to podcasts. I read books. I like to become smarter. And because people see when you have a sales call, they see if you're a legit person or if you're just talking bullshit, right? And there's also saying it's like 80% or it's 20% what you say and 80% how you say it, right? And if you're just in a high frequency and in a good mood and stuff, the deal is almost closed already, right?
Yeah.
So
it's not what you say on the calls, it's how you show up internally.
Exactly.
Like I said, the frequency that you're in, right? That's everything. Yeah. At the end, communication is a transfer of energy. If you have the right energy and you give that to someone on a call, it's the emotions that they have. People buy emotionally and then justify it rationally, right? Yeah. But you got to give that energy to someone in the first place. One of my very first mentors told me people can only make a positive decision with positive feelings, right? So that's where you got to take them in the first place.
Yeah. Second thing I would recommend to someone who is starting out, to get a mentor, right? It's you don't know it yourself, right? Because if you would know, you wouldn't need a mentor, right? You would make the money already. So get a mentor, get someone who can tell you exactly what you have to do to become good in whatever you want to build up in sales, in whatever business or whatsoever. And then I think it's also about being disciplined, right? I see so many people who are good in sales, right? Who could make a lot of money, but if you're just lazy, it's difficult, right? And if you're not willing to put the work in, it's a combination of two things, like right attitude and the right skill set, right? If one of those things are missing, it's always difficult. You can have the right attitude, but you don't know anything about it, difficult to make money. Or you could know a lot about it, you have the skills, but if you're lazy, also useless then, right? Yeah. So it's always a combination of those two things.
Definitely.
So these are the three things I would recommend to someone who would start out.
Yeah. I mean, also for beginners, like you said, one thing is getting help. I mean, sure, you can go do it alone, but you're going to take longer to reach that goal, right? For me, the biggest game changer was getting mentors, because it's just like you're quantum leaping to the next step of somebody who's been there, done that, failed, has got all that experience, just giving you like nuggets of information that change everything for you, right? Yeah. It's learning from others. Like I said, I got into my first sales opportunity with barely any experience in closing deals online, right? And I failed my first 3 calls. And then I was able to get advice, listen to the calls of other people, take notes. What do they do that works? use that blueprint, and then close 12 deals in a row where, like, okay, this is how you do it, right? Figure it out. That's when I really realized, like, having a blueprint, showing people, showing you just how it's done is going to help you so much.
I think you are the best example, right? Because, like you said yourself before, like, good closers get closed, right? And I mean, how much? What would you say? How much money did you spend on coaching so far?
Like I said, this year I'm gonna be at like 85, 86K.
With this 36 now that you will invest now?
That's already in that.
Yeah.
You see, I've already bought.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and this is the best example, right? Yeah. It's pretty interesting also to see your journey for me, right? Because I remember we met when you, like, we both closed the same offer more or less, and now you became a super good closing and sales coach. And I just listened to your team call, or to your how do you say it, like
the live call with the clients yesterday.
We
went on for 2.5 hours, so it was a really
like crazy.
session.
At like 2 in the morning or 1:30, you were still with your clients, helping them, giving them advices, answering their questions. Like it's I always tell my brother Felix, I don't know anyone who has better sales skills than you, right? It's really nice also how you developed here.
Like I said, there's so many opportunities. I think we went a very different path in the sense that you kind of took my position on the sales team that I was at the time, the highest performing sales rep. Now that's absolutely you, right? You're killing it. You're the dream closer of any business, right? And you just executed sales to the fullest, like 30K per month in commission profit straight in your pocket, month after month after month. Like, you're a machine. Like, you just close deals, right? And you don't take days off. Like, sure, sometimes you said you book a spontaneous flight somewhere and you do your thing, right? And you can take time off whenever you want to. But we both know, Max, you want to make money, right? And that's what you do.
It's what actually makes me happy, right?
I know.
When I don't make 1K a day, I'm in a bad mood. But I need to work on that, right?
Yeah, we've had that discussion before. I mean, maybe guys, you've seen, Max and I have already recorded an interview for like, what was it, 20, 30 minutes about his journey, right? And we're just going to link that interview below. He's focused on the money, which is great. It gets you to your income goals, right? But like I said, it's so important that for me, and I really believe in this, enjoy the journey. Be thankful for what you have,
100%.
right? It's not about chasing happiness. You create that in the outlook that you have on life. I'm genuinely extremely thankful getting up in the morning, walking to the gym, saying, I have 2 legs. This day can't get any better. Like, I'm loving my life. And I'd rather reach my goal gradually, learn a lot along the way, enjoy the process, have a great time, and achieve my goal anyways, than just, pressure myself into something and just break myself achieving a goal. But the point I was getting to just a moment ago, we've chosen different paths and you're executing sales to the fullest. You've now taken the next step and turning into head of sales, right? That's a step that I've taken a bit sooner in becoming the head of sales for different businesses, which is essentially running the sales team, right? Building the sales team, getting the right sales reps on board, training them, analyzing their calls, improving what they do, right? And just keeping it structured so that the business can do the best numbers, right? I'm now running multiple 6-figure sales teams, right? Doing 7 figures a year, few 100K per month, right? With multiple closers. And I love it because you know me, right? I like the community aspect, both in my own coaching program, having the community of just jumping on one-on-one calls with people, doing 2.5-hour live calls. I enjoy coaching. That's why I'm doing it. But also
because you
you
actually care about people, right? And you actually want to help them. And this is something really special on you, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I do enjoy coaching a lot. That's why I started this, right? Yeah. And like building sales teams, everything I do kind of ties into each other, right? Like the reason why I started coaching in the first place is because I was running sales teams for companies and they needed sales reps. I was like, where do I get good people? Like I was able to look at a few sales reps, but I was like, that's just not the level that we need here. And that's why I started coaching people myself. Like the first people I coached were 2 of my best friends, right? Simon and Johnny. I told them, get into this opportunity. You're going to make a lot of money. This changed my life. And they're like, oh, invest into a mentor, this, like scarcity mindset. Like, and I was like, just shut up, I'm going to coach you myself, right? I coached them, got them onto the right opportunity, and they right off the bat had 75% closing rate on the team, right? Making multiple K per month on the side with just a few hours, right? And I figured, okay, I'm good at coaching. So I doubled down, right, on that exact thing. And now I'm able to coach sales reps and onboard them into multiple teams that I'm running the sales team for, and kind of grow the business that I'm running the team for, right? Get them and great income as remote sales reps. Just everything that I do now ties into each other, and I'm loving the journey.
Yeah, and I see the sparkle in your eyes, the joy, the happiness in your eyes.
Yeah. It's, like I've told you so many times, praising it. I have positive energy because I know I have that abundant mindset of saying every goal that I have will come. Right?
Yeah.
I'll hit the 100K per month and all the other things that I want to achieve in anyways. So just enjoy the journey until then.
Because what I also think, what's pretty interesting now, we both know now 2 specific examples where it turned out the wrong way, right? When you only focus on money, right? Yeah. And you don't actually enjoy life, and you don't have your life in order, more or less. Like it can go completely in the wrong direction, right?
I mean, just like I've told you, I truly want to enjoy the journey. And Tai Lopez, somebody who we've been able to spend a lot of time with and learn from directly, he always says health, wealth, love, and happiness. I genuinely feel like I want to make more money, sure, right? I'm happy, but there's always more money you can make, right? But when you make multiple 5 figures per month, you start to focus on other things like, hey, I want to be healthy, right? I want to have great relationships, be happy. And sure, you can improve on all of them, but do that. Don't just focus on the money. I've been there with other business owners, right? Running their business, hitting 100K plus per month. And I could see that it's not making them happy. They're just chasing the money, thinking that would get them happiness. But you have to find happiness within yourself, and then everything else will come. If you're already happy, and then you make that money, multiple 5, 6 figures a month and 7 figures a month, then you can really just amplify all the things that already make you happy and grateful and live your life.
Yeah. It's also something I really want to or need to work on, because I'm also a bit too rational when it comes to that, I would say. And, I always thought like, when I hit this goal, then I'm happy. When I hit that goal, then I'm happy. But it's weak if you decide your happiness level on a certain money outcome. You know what I mean? Of course, to a certain extent, but over the months or over the years now, I also learned that, at least for me, kind of like the dream is always nice in the head, because at the same time, once you achieve a dream, you automatically destroy it, right? You buy this, you buy that, right? And automatically it's destroyed more or less. And I really try to just enjoy the path a bit more, the journey, be grateful for it. Years ago, like when I thought like I'm making now, like when I will make 30 grand a month, I'm done, right? So when I look back at, I'm really grateful for everything. But yeah, there's still for sure much more to come, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And like I've told you a moment ago, it's about enjoying the journey of reaching your goals.
Yes.
Sitting at you with dinner, the other day, I told you not too long ago, like 2-3 years ago, when I was that personal trainer making 500 euros a month, working 160 plus hours a month for someone else, right? For their dream, for their money, just like literally slaving away my time.
Yeah.
I had way smaller goals, right? I told you that. And in meeting sales reps when I got started in my very first months, right? Meeting guys back in Germany, which I'm from, just making 15K per month and then paying taxes on that. I was like, wow, that's so crazy. That's amazing, right? Now like 20, 30K plus per month, like in Dubai, tax-free, right?
Yeah.
It's a good life. That's what I'm saying. I'm proud of the way that I've gone, right, where I'm at. Of course, I want to make way more, and I know I'll hit that goals. I'll make sure I do. But still,
100%.
Enjoy what you have. Be proud of where you are, right? Be grateful for what you have, and just, enjoy it. You know my personality type, man. I'm big on enjoyment and just living life to the fullest. And, I mean, there's takeaways I have from your work ethic, just focusing on what you have to do, right, relentlessly and getting the job done. But also for you, like I said, you should really be proud of where you're at, Max.
Yeah, and enjoy a bit more.
I'll help with that. We'll do that just here in Dubai. That's what we're doing. And yeah, it's been great to have you on the podcast. Any final words? Maybe where people can find you on Instagram if they want to connect?
Yeah, just my name, Max Gmoser, right? I'm not too active on it, but yeah, I'm trying to work on that also.
Yeah, that's also one thing that you'll get sorted for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure having you here on the podcast, enjoying the conversation with you as always. And yeah, I think there's a lot more amazing content that we'll create for people down the line.
Yes. Also, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure myself.
You're very welcome, man. So guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. See you on the next one. Have an amazing day.